beautiful. All right. Incredible Phoenix Oolong. Smells on this are just phenomenal. Boiling water. Really a purpler. You tried doing that at home, jeez. Purpler color than I'm used to. The leaves themselves actually maybe hard to catch, but they are quite green. Oh my gosh, beautiful. The aroma is just insane. Just insane. Beautiful leaves. The color of the liqueur is really stunning. So this is an interesting tea because it's called a Rogui, but it's a Phoenix tea. Maybe the stock material was originally from kind of the Rogui mountain area, but this is technically a Phoenix. Cheers. Wow. Very different. Not very fruity. Very like spiced rum. Really good. Much more earthy. I can see why the kind of Phoenix, or sorry, the wooey kind of comparison is happening there. For how bright it smells, excuse me, it's surprisingly mid-noted. Like, there's this like spiced plum candy that my mom, they're like gummies with a little like powdered sugar, or not powdered, but with a sugar coating on the outside, granulated sugar, that my mom loves. And this tastes like that. No astringency or bitterness. The greenness of this tea is floral, not very grassy at all. That's kind of, it's not bright, but it's floral. It's not very minerally, but there's a basiness to this tea that this is an interesting Phoenix for sure. Phoenix often has a very fruity nose to me, very intense bitterness, a very strong oolong. Let me see. I'm going to pause a second and see if I can get a little bit more brightness on these leaves. So, I think it just looks a lot worse. Be right back. Okay. Boiling water again. Here we go. I don't know how much leaf I'm using. Giving it a little bit longer. Not too long though. Beautiful aroma, my goodness. These leaves themselves are just gorgeous. I don't know why it's not picking it up very well on camera. The color on the leaves is incredible. Oh. So perfumey and flowery. Oh my gosh. You have to excuse me, everybody. I've had a bit of a allergies meets whatever going on, so my a little stuffed up, but oh man, this breaks through the incredible. Brown sugary sweet on the nose. Cheers. Yeah. Spice plum candy, maybe some cinnamon. It's much sweeter now. More sugary sweet. And then a bit more of a hints of charcoal roast. No sourness or really fermentedness in this at all. It tastes like a really beautiful, crisp, flowery green oolong that's been rearranged to become more mid-bassy, but it's not buttery necessarily. Oh. This is one of my most favorite Phoenixes I've ever had. So sweet. Most favoritist. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is so aromatic that it's very intense, but in a way that's different than normal. Normally when I say intense, it's like the flavors are so strong and all consuming. There's an incredible balance of aroma and taste, especially in these Phoenixes. I find they're just so pungent and perfumey. Really, really lovely. What a cozy, warming, delicious tea. My goodness. Getting the water back up. Oh, so juicy and wow. Rivers and Lakes tea. Check them out. What an incredible selection of teas. Really impressed with the variety and quality within the variety that I've had. I feel like I haven't had a miss there. Really stunning, remarkable. This is a mom test tea. This is a everything tea. This is a yes. Wow. Guangdong. And again, if I understand it correctly, it's Rogui in name, and in taste, but not in. And I think the leaves are not quite the right size, even. But this is grown in the Phoenix Mountains, so wow, kind of a cooling mouth sensation now. All right, I want to see how this goes. That was a much longer time for a full minute there, or full minute. Sorry, full boil. A little bit browner liqueur now. The leaves are really opening up. Excuse me. You can see a bit of the kind of purple browning around the tips of the leaves. But in general, either they're going to be pretty green or pretty brown. Beautiful, clean. The aroma. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. This is just another example of how wide the landscape of tea is. Wide, deep. It's just this big, open arena to enjoy. It's truly incredible. Cheers. Huh. Okay. Not astringent, but a bit of sourness. Still has a really sugariness, sugar sweet. Not quite as fruity, but a bit more spicy. Not quite as flowery. A bit. Wow, really nice. A bit more of the roast. A bit more bassy. Definitely more minerally, yeah. Wow. Really dynamic. Let's keep going. Damn. Look at that. That is freaking beautiful. Buy this tea. Wow. I read on the internet complimentary things about how we represent no interests, and that makes me happy because we don't make any money on this. We are just doing it for fun. This is a way to relax from an otherwise challenging project that James and I do together. So, and what a joy to do it. And anyway, I appreciate, reading that people enjoy that we are certainly biased and we have preferences and stuff, but it's not for monetary gain, that's for sure. Which is why I'm launching T-Coin. Hashtag $TEADB coin. Sign up today on my ICO, coming soon. You must be living in the Bahamas. Bit more sour. I'm going to hit it for less time now. Kind of on the cusp of astringent. Ooh. More fruit. Kind of hanging out at the end there. Yeah, a bit more bitter that way. I'm going to use less time. Again, boiling water here. Color of the liqueur is just stunning. I am really enjoying this. Really nice break tea. Kind of a energizing pick-me-up tea for sure. Ooh. I've had a cold. My ears are plugged, but they are unplugging themselves right now. I don't know what that means. But maybe that's a vote of confidence in some way. Wow. What a delight to drink. It's becoming not as mom test approved now. It's got a bit more flavors that are at odds. I find them to be interesting. I'm having a physical impact on my mouth of the kind of mouth puckeringness of the last steeping where I really gave it more time. I'm assuming now, by virtue of just having had a really intense steeping, that because I brewed this one for less time, it's going to taste sweeter. So there's a kind of intrinsic or internal rhythm of taste, steep by steep, based on the brewing parameters of what you've been drinking, right? So if you were, for example, to overbrew your first steeping of some pu'er and then go to a glass of water, like I had mentioned in one episode, but also like a white tea, it's just going to taste sweet. Literally, the water will taste sweet. The white tea will taste sweet and crisp and flowery in comparison. So even within its own tea, the one tea rather, I did give it more time last steeping. I can physically feel the impact on my mouth. It's impacting how I'm talking as well. So, for steeping, I think. Cheers. Lighter texture. Oh, wow. More honeysuckle and flowers and this tastes very green now, very crisp. There's a bit more hay, but the floweriness is really now elevated. The wooey, I think, is a little bit less intense. I think if you were to brew this with wooey parameters, it would probably be too strong for me. I know James uses like the whole freaking thing stuffed full of when he does actual like real Rogui. So that would be too intense for me for this. This is quite strong and deliciously delicious right now. And with these teas too, you're because they're twisted, you're getting to the meat of the sessions faster, if you will. Oh wow, so well. There's this really jade thing going on, but then it's like twisted downward into this kind of deeper noted mid register. It's not charcoal roast. It's just it's more slightly fermented grass now. It's not grassy. It's like fermented. It's like Jesus. So it's okay. So you're doing yard work, right? And you don't get all your yard work done, but you've had to cut down some freshly cut green boughs from some sort of tree of some sort, and then you got to kind of like they've been sitting in the yard for a few days, and then you got to kind of like crunch them up in halves to stuff them down into your green yard waste bucket or whatever, and it's like that green wood smell. Okay. Yes. I know that occasionally I can be a little extra, but hey, come on. It's where I go. It's where I'm doing chores now. Longer one than normal. Wow. So sweet still in the aftertaste. Viscosity is down on that a little bit. You could use more leaf. It'd be more intense. The sourness I didn't enjoy as much in the third steeping. So I think I would continue to flash steep this. Maybe you could even use a little bit lower temperature water and longer steep times. Try to coax out a bit of the viscosity. So, this started as a easier to drink tea than it is now. Not a complaint. I'd say that's a virtue. This is for me now kind of more of a not noob tea. Really changes a lot. Nothing wrong with serving this to someone who's never had tea before, but there's enough movement and interesting uniqueness here that I would save this one for one of your friends who can really enjoy this. Lose my voice. Apologies, y'all. On season 9 here, whatever that means. Cheers. So I think this is now going to just kind of be sugary, sweet, hints of kind of some sourness. I wouldn't call it citrusy. Just kind of sour. The kind of cinnamony thing is still there, and it's kind of like slightly brusque earthiness. The plummy fruitiness is faded away a little bit. Notes still kind of flowers. More of the basiness now. More of the wooey now. You could probably nuke this. This can become too bitter still. So it's still a strong tea even at 5 steepings. But a lot of the really light yeah, whatever. Effervescent kind of aspects of this tea have kind of faded a little bit. Still tastes like an oolong, you know? Man, dang, this is so good. I also appreciate this tea because I have a hard time brewing these in general. These Phoenix teas are very challenging to brew, and this one has certainly made my life easy. Yum. Rivers and Lakes tea. Just go buy this tea, actually. Usually don't just say that, but this one's really good. If you're an oolong person, if you enjoy that, if you enjoy Wui teas and Rogui, I think this is going to be an interesting tea for you, actually. I think this is definitely more Phoenix than Rogui, but certainly something to give a shot. Rivers and Lakes, thanks again. Just, come on, look at, it's just so pretty. So grateful. Look at that. Wow. Go, just pause at something beautiful today. Have a great one. Bye.